Hi, Steve Casey. It's been a while since we had a story time with Steve, so let's do that. I'm gonna contain adult content and probably some profanity, so be aware up front that that's gonna happen in this video. This is what happened to me, or what I was involved in the early 80s. I had just gotten over my drugs and alcohol habit and had been living in Atlanta, clean and sober. And I really needed something to do. And I met a woman, which escalated quite quickly. And the next thing you know, we um, started living together, got married, the whole bit. I mean, it happened quick. I knew she was okay, wealthy to a degree. She had some dress shops and she had some properties about 60 miles north of Atlanta in a rural community. So one day, she's got this phone call and said, I got a problem. My manager of my golf course, and I didn't even know she had a golf course, is stealing her blind and he's doing things up there and we got to move up there 60 miles from Atlanta. I go, okay. So I get up there. It turns out she's got a redneck golf course. I mean, a cow pasture that's been mowed with great greens and great tees. And it's just 9 holes. And it's turns out it's a gambling mecca. That's all they go there for is to gamble, bet on their golf games, and go inside the little clubhouse and play poker and just do all kinds of stuff and drink and hide from their wives and so on and so forth. So she fires the manager, and I go, well, I'll do it until we get somebody else. And I started looking around. I'm going, that's all these dudes do is gamble, which is kind of right up my alley. So, again, I got an addictive personality, but I figured if I'm the house and I take my cut, then, it's not really going to be anything but business. So, with that in mind, oh, yeah, that's not uncommon. This facility was not your St. Andrew's Country Club, okay? That scene right there showed up about once a month where some guy got drunk and kind of tilted the cart over and boom, and they wound up paying for it. So they were brought on a golf cart. I found some machines that looked like this in like a 7-Eleven. And you play them for points. They're poker machines. This is like the earliest version. You've seen them in casinos and stuff, but that's what they look like. They had a sticker on the side. I called the amusement guy that owned the machines up and said, "Look, I want to buy some." And he says, "Look, I'll sell them to you, and then you got to give me the maintenance contract, and I want a percentage of whatever points." Quotation marks. And I said, "Okay, let's try it out." So I had 3 of these machines, and we installed them in a little side room off of the main room in the clubhouse. And all of a sudden, these guys are flocking in there buying 400 points for $100 bills and sitting there for hours and hours and hours. And I'm going, God, this is nothing but a cash cow. And when they hit it big, and the guy has invested, $500 in a day, but oh my God, he's got a jackpot of $400 or $400 worth of points. I make a big deal out of walking back to the main room and paying him his cash money, and everybody gets excited and they go back running in there and go, "Hey, so and so won, I'm going to win," and blah, blah, blah. So that went real well. And then I changed the gin rummy games, which I didn't make any money off of, to poker games. Close the doors, lock the doors, 3 entrances, got a gate to the the golf community parking lot, so it was pretty safe. And next thing you know, guys are playing poker. I'm cutting the pot, couple bucks. They're dealing for themselves. I got 3 or 4 poker games going every night just for 3 hours. And these are pretty basic individuals. Okay, I mean we're talking a little gruff, not your suave, sophisticated types. Most of them are good people, hardworking guys, just love to gamble, and some of them really had the addictive personality of a gambler. But that all went along real well for a while. Next thing you know, I'm 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm opening up the golf course, and it's midnight, and I'm closing down the golf course. It was kind of brutal, but the money started flowing pretty good, and I had a lot of time to make up for it because I'd wasted quite a bit of time in my earlier years. So that went along for a while, and then I started looking into some guy who made stuff for a living. I said, make me half of a crap table that fits inside a pool table, which he did. Excuse me, need some lemonade here. And it looked kind of like that. And you insert it in the pool table. You put socks in the pocket so the dice wouldn't go down there, and boom, we had a crap table. I oversaw this. I'd cut the pot when a guy crapped out on certain numbers, and it was $100 an hour, and we were in the house pocket, and we were going all night during the winter time because there wasn't much golf course action. And we'd start early and we'd stay until the sun came up. Guys come in, and I mean, pretty soon we're getting in guys coming in with thousands of dollars. And I had a gun safe. And literally, these guys would walk around and have guns, protection and stuff. And everybody checked their guns at the door, and everything went in the safe. Also, there was no hard liquor. There was no pills. There was nothing like that. No dope at all. Free beer for everybody. Chips, snacks, sandwiches, so on. That was all inclusive. And these guys went at it hard and heavy. One night, a guy that turned out he was a good friend of mine, but he was a very, very bad reputation guy in this small community. He was like the baddest guy in town. Every little rural town has one. Well, he comes in and he's pilled up. And I mean, he's staggering and slurring and weaving and all this stuff. But by God, he wants to, shoot dice. So he gets in there and immediately loses a couple $1,000s, and he gets mad. Now, this is the baddest guy in town, okay? But I'm clean and sober. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. And this guy starts beating the guy next to him at the crap table about some God knows what problem. Next thing you know, I'm going, God, I got to do something. So I push him away from the guy he's beating on, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out one of these and points it right at me. This guy's a friend of mine, but he's severely under the influence. So I do the best salesman job, because that's my real background that I've ever done. And next thing you know, he puts it down, and he goes to take a swing at me. I caught him off guard. I slammed him into the wall, and he passes out. I just kind of tackled him and pushed him in the wall, and he passed out. My reputation in that community went through the roof. Hey, that's the guy that beat the crap out of so-and-so, who's the baddest man in town. I got tired of all this stuff, especially getting a gun pulled on me. So I grabbed a bunch of guys and said, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to the Desert Inn. Made a call to the Desert Inn. because I'd been there before. I called my casino guy, and he says, you bring guys out, and we'll give you commission on what they play. Plus, you get the free stuff that you always got. So we go out there. They treat us like king, and these guys they got $10,000 and $20,000 in their pocket. It's crazy. And I'm sitting there going, okay, and I got money too. So well, they sit there and they're gambling and they're playing whatever various things, and it goes on and on and on. I'm gambling, we're gambling, we all go separate ways, we all come back, and I can't sleep. It's like 2, 3 in the morning, so I walk around the poker tables. I figure I'll play poker for a while because I'm in a legal poker game, so I pretty much know how to play Texas Hold'em before all that was popular on TV and the movies, and that's what we were playing. Well, some dude sits down and he thinks he's this guy. Okay, he thinks he's cool and sophisticated and whatever, but he doesn't know how to play Texas Hold'em. He knows how to play regular poker, draw and stuff. So I sit there and he's banging away, martinis and all that. I mean, honest God, he was like this. He was dressed in a suit and everything else. Well, pretty soon, he looks like this. And pretty soon after that, and it was just me and a couple of guys there who weren't regular poker players. This was a convention or something. And I'm sitting there with tons of money. Tons. So they go to the cashier. I talk to my casino guy. And I go, I want to send this home to my wife. And he goes, okay. So they give me a check for it. It's a huge amount of money. And had it FedEx to my wife or whatever, mailed to my wife. 2 days later, they're opening up a crap table. And that's what it looks like when they open up a crap table. I still have several $1,000s on me. But, it's time to go home. So I walk up there. There's a Asian guy with about $8 worth of clothes on. There's another guy at the other end of the table who has nothing but black and pink chips, which are $100 and $500 chips. And there's me. And that's it. Daytime crap game. The man that shot the dice, the Asian guy, was betting $5. Didn't play odds, didn't do anything. And it went just like in the movies. It was the roll. And there was nobody there to slow it down. Nobody yelling, screaming, yeah. He was just throwing dice. He was making points, throwing numbers, just all the beautiful stuff. I was uncomfortable betting as much as I was after a while. And I'm watching this pro gambler next to me just turn his blacks and pinks into oranges and whatever color $5,000 chips were. And I'm going, oh my God. So, based on that, I went up in dollars. And finally, when it was all over, colored out racks and racks and racks of this pink and blue chip. It was absolutely amazing. Which I went up to the cashier, I got my casino guy, got a check from them, so I didn't have to walk around with all that money. And that was the biggest payoff ever for me, which I immediately gave to my wife, and she went out and spent tens of thousands of dollars on Italian leather furniture. Our house was a palace, but oh my God, don't sit there. That's the new couch. It was crazy. So what'd you buy this shit for if I can't even sit in it? But it looked great, man. We were Architectural Digest. Okay, last part of this. A couple of years of this crap. I couldn't take it anymore. I asked for a divorce, and she slow-walked it because she thought I'd come around because not any of the usual. It wasn't infidelity. It wasn't money. It was whatever. It was time for us to split. So I drove. While I was waiting to get divorced, she dragged it out for 4 months to Lake Tahoe. and I rented a cabin just like this, little A-frame. And I had $8,000, $9,000, something like that when I went out there. And my thing was I was going to sit and play poker and, try to make a couple $100 a day and just, pass the time. And the best place to go was Caesars, and they had the best poker room. And pretty soon, it's 3 months later, I've been paying for this cabin rental, and I've been eating for free at Caesars, but still the expenses were a little high because it was a cabin rental on Lake Tahoe. But I started getting known by everybody. Hey, Steve, hey, man, how you doing? And I started becoming one of these degenerate gamblers because, I went to work at the poker table every day to try and make money. And the next thing you know, I said, I don't want to do this. So I had about 4 times as much money as I had when I drove out there. Went back to Georgia, got a divorce, and that's when I moved back to Atlanta and said, I think I'll become a Porsche salesman. So that's the story for today, a little long, and that's how I opened up a redneck casino in rural northern Georgia. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.